How's it going, wonderful people? It's so great to have you here for the time that I do. Thank you for stopping by. I'm your host, Wonderstruck, and oh my fuck, do you look good today. Due to popular demand and multiple subscribers requesting I make another, I'm back with an r/entitled parents. Before we begin, I have had a few people ask me to tell what I'm cooking in the videos, and this actually makes sense because the background can be blurry for effect, so then I have people thinking I'm cooking spaghetti when I'm actually pan cooking udon noodles. A little bit of an issue. But anyways, what I'm working on right now is some roasted red and regular potatoes that I've cut up. I've got some olive oil, green onion, rosemary, salt, pepper, and a little bit of cayenne pepper mixed in with these. Prior to putting them in, I cooked some bacon in the pan and let some of the juices stay in so the potato would soak up all the additional flavor. But anyways, moving on, let's get right into what you came for. I hope you do enjoy, and I'll see you at the end, friend. Entitled parent steals my prize. Tries to claim assault. So I've been scoping out this subreddit for some time now, and I think it's finally time I stop being lazy and tell my own story about my personal encounter with an infamous entitled parent and her loving little ray of sunshine entitled kid. This happened not too long ago, a couple of months, so everything is still pretty fresh in my mind. The dialogue is written as accurately as possible, but hey, I didn't carry a manuscript with me at the time, so cut me some slack. Anyways, I was out at Six Flags with my friends from school enjoying the weekend and just having fun. We hadn't been in a good while and our friend Rico had a few spare tickets, so we thought, why not? It would make for a pretty chill day, right? Well, mostly. We spent our time going from ride to ride in hopes of completing everyone in the park before they started to close down for the day, which wasn't a too far-fetched idea given that we showed up pretty close to the time in which they opened in the morning so we could get a proper head start. Things were going pretty chill all in all. We had stopped for an overpriced lunch in the park of fried chicken accompanied with one of those large novelty cups that are really lengthy and thin. A stupid choice indeed. Around this time we had completed nearly 3/4 of all the rides, so we had a little extra free time to give. Rico thought of the idea of going to play those carnival games like the darts and balloons, ring toss, etc. We all agreed on that, and Rico and I both went out to play darts. Rico and I got at it pretty evenly, both being kinda competitive, so it's pretty fun doing these games. I ended up getting enough balloons popped to where I am given this large stuffed Pokemon that required 2 hands to hold. As I'm trying to hold on to this massive plush, I accidentally dropped my ride pass on the ground. We all had one of those cut to the front of the line kind of passes. As I got to reach for it, a young boy no older than, 6 years old comes storming past me out of nowhere and snatches up my pass as if oblivious that I was reaching for it. I'll cut him some slack because he's just a kid. He tries to run past, but my friend Rico catches up to him before he can run and blocks him. "Whoa there, buddy," Rico said. "That pass isn't yours, my guy." The kid just hits my friend with the classic old line of
"Finders keepers, loser weepers,"
and tries to book it past Rico when Rico grabs the kid by the shirt to keep him from running off. The second he did, however, we heard the obnoxious tone of a woman behind us holler,
"Hey, get your hands off my son right now."
Rico and I looked to see a sweaty, heavy-set woman with a pissed-off, shocked expression slapped on her face, booking it over towards us. I could already sense that this was going to be going down in a not-so-favorable way. The kid tries tugging away, but Rico, being the ballsy dude he was, held on to him despite the inbound mother.
"I said let go of my son,"
the woman shouted again. "Lady, your kid took my friend's pass. He's not going anywhere until he gives it back." This, now this was fuel to get the fire going. The kid's mother gawked in disbelief at my friend's denial and charged over towards Rico. She shoved Rico out of the way with such force it sent a big guy like himself flat on the ground. The following confrontation went as follows. "Yo, what the hell is wrong with you, you crazy old bat?
"You touch my son again, I'll knock you out cold, you understand me?"
The kid now had a broad smile across his face as he hid behind his mother's leg. That's when I stepped in. "Lady, you can't just go shoving people like that. We weren't harassing your kid, he took a pretty expensive pass of mine."
"Oh my gosh, nobody cares, you're like 17 fucking years old, grow the hell up and get like a job or something, you man baby, and get out of a place for kids."
The sheer entitlement of this woman in her statement was enough to immediately send me over the edge. Who the hell are you telling to grow up? You're a psycho pushing people over a friggin' century and a half younger than you to the ground. And I do work. Forgive me for wanting to have some fun with my friends. It's an amusement park. Your kid isn't even old enough to ride a lot of this. As for my pass, I care because what you're doing is being a thief. The flames of the entitled fire only grew higher as the woman, even more pissed than before, snatches my Pokemon plush from me and tells me to
"Shut the fuck up."
I instantly yank hard on my prize and it sends her wobbling and off balance, causing her to trip and fall over.
Ah, help, I'm being assaulted!
She wailed out. I'm sorry, what? I grabbed up my prize and Rico snatched the ticket from the kid bag, to which the kid immediately started crying. Park security was quick to rush in and judge the situation. They saw us standing above a woman wailing on the floor and a kid crying. It was clear in their minds we were the culprits. The security told us to stay put and then asked the mother if she was alright. She said she probably had severe medical injuries and would need an ambulance. When they asked what happened, she cried out,
I had just won my son a prize when these thugs pushed me over and tried to steal from us. Please, get them away from us. I feel my life is being threatened.
Rico couldn't stand by and just listen to that nonsense. He shouted out,
Bullshit!
to which a security officer told us to be quiet and to come with him while they awaited proper authorities. We tried to dispute it and they wouldn't listen, so Rico just pushed out one last comment of confidence. Alright, let's see who exactly the thief is, Chief. Security set the two of us in a kind of holding room where we sat for what felt like an hour or so. We knew our other friends would be looking all over for us, but there was nothing we could do about that as security had confiscated our phones. Rico and I weren't worried though. We knew we were the people who had our stuff taken and not the other way around. About another hour passed and an officer and a security guard walked into the room. The security guard holding my Pokemon prize and my ticket. Folks, the security guard began, the park security would like to issue you two an apology. Upon reviewing footage and asking some of the game managers, we found the woman you two encountered fell over only after she tried to take something of your own. She has been taken to the hospital upon a persistent request, but her injuries were not visible, perhaps not even existent. It's whatever, dude. We just want our stuff back and to get the hell out of here, man. Yeah, same. The officer walked around to Rico and I. Sir, we noticed on the footage you were technically assaulted by the woman. Would you like to press charges of any kind? Rico, being the chilled, easy guy he is, replied with, Nah, she probably hates her life enough as it is if she's stealing from teenagers at an amusement park and faking being assaulted. Plus, ambulance rides are not cheap fare. I'm good with that. The officer understood and security let us go after giving us our phones back. We eventually caught up with our friends and they were pissed at first, but then we explained the whole situation and man, they were so intrigued. We went home after riding a few more rides and that was it. Needless to say, it was enough of an entitled parent encounter that I think I'm good in not experiencing it again. Entitled parent wants me banned from family gathering because I refused to let his son hit me with a bat. So my uncle recently got remarried, so that reminded me of an incident that happened when his son was very young. Now I used to have a very decent relationship with my uncle. He was the youngest of my dad's siblings and born almost 15 years after my dad. He was always kind of a wild child, but when he had a son, he really settled down. For the proceed of this story, my uncle would be EU, my cousin as Eb, and I'm, of course, me. So during the summer, we all head over to my aunt's farm during the summer. This year's Spider-Man 3, the Tobey Maguire one, had just come out. Now, I was still pretty young, about 13 at the time. Eb was about 8, being quite a bit younger than me. Now, I was a late bloomer and just hit that wave of puberty where girls sprout up like weeds. We were talking about Spider-Man and how it was his favorite movie. I liked it too, so I tried to talk to him about it. He got upset and said girls couldn't like Spider-Man. Eb says I've probably never seen it and I just roll my eyes and describe the plot to him and he gets really mad. But for now he simmers. Later Eb asked me to come outside and push him on the swing and I do. Once again, I'm much bigger than him so I can push him pretty high. Now it was apparently his plan to show me that he was a boy and much stronger than me, so when he offered to push me on the swing I accepted. He wasn't strong enough to get me very far. This enraged him. I tried to explain to him because I'm so much bigger than him I weigh a lot more, but Eb was having none of it. He runs off to my aunt's garage and comes back with a wooden baseball bat. I'm so shocked the first swing hits me clean in the stomach. The second was not too lucky. I'm bigger than him and pissed because I coughed up half the orange pop I'd been drinking before. I grab the bat, wrenching it from his hand. I tell him, never hit me again, and apparently I'm so scary in that moment that he runs inside and gets his dad. EU storms out and the following occurs. What'd you do to my son? Me sputtering. He hit me. Why is he crying? I didn't let him hit me with a bat. And why not? He was just playing.
He hit me with a bat.
Not long after that, the rest of my family came down. My dad and uncle talked and we just went about the rest of the night normally, except I was told I had to stay by my mom. During the half-hour drive back to our home, my dad was pissed and told me my uncle tried to have me not just sent home, which meant the whole family would have to leave, but he wanted me banned from the family gathering from there on. The fact my cousin admitted to everyone exactly what happened, as he saw nothing wrong with his actions, saved me from a lot of trouble. Naturally, I wasn't, but my uncle was always super wary of me whenever I was around from then on. Entitled Mom says it's my fault that I got her son suspended after he splashed me with acid. I was 14 when this happened. It was during chemistry when we had to go to the lab to learn about neutralization of acid and alkali. Simple stuff, really. The cast: M, ex-mother; Ek, classmate, also 14; FT, female chemistry teacher; and MT, male chemistry teacher. We were banded class, so there were 2 teachers. And DM, discipline master. So the class was arranged in a way that I'm sitting directly in front of Ek. I couldn't switch because we were arranged via index number and cross-gender and a bunch of other factors. Basically, I can't change my seat. On our desk we had, as far as I can remember, a bunch of bottles containing chemicals, mainly alkalis and acids. Weak acid, but it's acid. Ek was the classic I don't give a crap about school boy and constantly getting into trouble for talking in class, disrupting lessons, not handing in homework. You get the point. Everyone has had this one person in class before, right? The class goes on as usual until MT confronts Ek about why he isn't doing the experiments. It's just simple adding acid into alkali and seeing something happen. But Ek simply just ignores MT. MT gets a little frustrated and is saying things like, "Do the experiment, help your partner." It was pair work. Stop being lazy. Ek simply replied, "Go away." MT continued to pester him to do the experiment for a good 2 minutes. Then Ek got super triggered and smashed the table before swiping away the bottles of chemicals, which unluckily got me splattered in what I believe was diluted sulfuric acid, according to one of my friends. I thought I was gonna die because I could feel the acid dripping from my hair. My hair was quite long and was able to be in contact with my back, so basically my whole back was covered in acid. And the bottles we were given was only 5 milliliters, but I can feel my whole back drenched. MT pulled Ek by the arm and forced him outside the lab while FT brought me to the bathroom to wash away the acid that probably is already eating to my flesh right now. It was scary as crap, like a snake slithering on your back. I got rinsed and had a few red spots on my back and got cream, or something, applied from the general office. And my mother fetched me home to see a doctor. Nothing fatal, really. The day after the lab lesson, I was called to DM's office with Ek and M, MT, and FT. My mother couldn't be there as she got a part-time at a supermarket. DM said, "According to reports from MT, as well as some of Ek's classmates, your child splattered acid over my name and got an outburst of anger in class." M replies,
So, does that seem to be a problem? Why not just ask her to not sit in front of Ek then?
"Excuse me? It's not like I can change my own seat. If I could, I would definitely, because I wouldn't want to be around Ek. Nevertheless, your son has hurt her and reacted aggressively against the teacher. We have concluded 5 days in house suspension, basically detention from 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. I was hoping for a cane, but that works too, I guess." M's face was red, and X still had that whatever look on his face. I'm just blankly laughing in my head. M, Ek, and me were told to leave while MT and FT remained to do some writings on X's report book or something. As we got out of DM's office, M just slaps me on the face, leaving a red mark on my cheek.
Why did you get my son suspended?
Now, I'm a shy, quiet girl and never get into situations like this, so I'm just baffled, thinking of what to say, and M simply gives me another slap and I fall on the ground. I'm about to break into tears at that point when DM storms out of the office and loudly asks, "M, Ek, you two need to leave now." M still had the courage to scream into DM's ears,
It's her fault my son is in suspension.
DM was about to call security at that point when MT and FT also came out and asked, "What's going on here?" M just screams,
This is absolutely the worst discipline master I've ever seen. You made my son receive suspension when this?
DM cuts her off and quickly says, "Ma'am, you've got one last chance to get out of the school grounds before I expel your child." M says with absolute confidence,
You can't do that.
and I really don't think DM can because by law, school is mandatory, though I guess Ek can be moved to another school. I'm not a politician. 2 security guards at the school gate came up and asked what was happening. DM simply asked them to take M and Ek away and the security guards dragged them out of the school. All the while, M was calling DM out for
Unfair discipline.
And for this whole time, X still had that I don't give a crap about anything look on his face other than a few devil smiles thrown out randomly. I was completely fine after that and the acid burns left after a few weeks. Last I heard, Ek was transferred to a private school and probably didn't get his 5-day suspension. I heard of rumors that private schools give discipline cases based on income from the family, so he's probably going to be hell for the students in that school because his parents are quite well off. Yeah.
Together breakfast. Yay.
Thank you lovely people for watching. I do hope you enjoyed your stay. I may or may not have eaten all the potatoes, but hey, my friend doesn't seem to be complaining about a together breakfast. This guy is a god right here. Anyways, thank you for stopping by, it really does mean the world. Feel free to drop a like or subscribe for more content, it really does help me out as well as the channel a ton. I can't wait to continue bringing more videos to you folks soon, and hope you take care. Farewell.